Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Fatback 4 Daily. This is your Monday night show. This show, of course, is brought to you by Paddy Power, a bookies, a website, and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly and try to do so with Paddy Power. Odds on Liverpool, specials on Liverpool, odds on football, odds on sport, odds on everything else. Go to paddypower.com. Download them on Android or on iPhone, and away you go. You know how it works from there. Tonight with me is Karl Coppack, and me and Karl have had a rant for about 4.5 minutes before this show started, so you can probably expect something along that lines for the next 40 minutes or so. Karl, Liverpool went and won a game yesterday that I never, ever felt that they were going to even draw. I always felt they were going to win it. How big a win was that for you, Karl? Because we spoke about it on our show last night. We felt it was a massive, massive win, but I keep saying it every week. We keep finding different ways to win football games, and this was another one again yesterday, wasn't it?
I've got some views on yesterday. I mean, firstly, I will own a completely irrational hatred of Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know what it is about them, but I just like them more than Chelsea. I know a lot of people hate Chelsea, but that's just a new thing for me. I've always got it in for Tottenham with their flashy midfielders who never actually win anything. And that's going back to the 70s. And the fact that they used to basically buy all Liverpool's slightly too old midfielders like Leonardson and Redknapp and Danny Murphy and people like that. So I always want to beat Tottenham anyway. In the ground, it seemed to me that when Tottenham scored, they didn't know what to do. Where for Liverpool and Liverpool fans, they just knew straight away, this is what we have to do. We've got to score 2 goals. We've got 90 minutes. Let's do that. And Tottenham's game really is always to attack always. Well, it used to be when they go through their good form, because they're not the full team they can be at the moment. And I don't think they knew how to do that. And I think that really played into our hands a bit. And you're right, Liverpool can do that now. If Liverpool want to get an early lead and hold on, we can do that. We can grind out results. Sheffield United was the perfect example. Where I didn't think we were the better team on the day, I thought Sheffield United were absolutely excellent. We get the goal and we go, that's it. We're just going to shut up shop. You're not getting anything from us now. We'll take the 1-0. That's fine. Spurs can't do that. They've got to attack all the time and they've got to leave gaps. And they all want to come forward and hardly any of them want to sit. For Liverpool to win a game like that, after the week of results we've had as well, United was a hard game. And then you've got to go to Belgium and do all that sort of European stuff as well. To get them at home, knowing we've got City to come and Arsenal beforehand, although there's every chance to go that me and you are playing in that game, then that's a hard game. And to go a goal down after 48 seconds and still think, right, we've got 90 minutes to win this and we'll win it in 70 or whatever it was, that's an enormous victory. Enormous.
Yeah, like from watching the game yesterday, a lot of people are coming into the chat here regarding Matip being out possibly for 6 weeks, and they're discussing Lovren and they're discussing Gomez and stuff. We will absolutely get to that before the end of the show, but just on the game itself, watching the game yesterday, I just felt, well, first of all, I was like, what the fucking, you know what? I'd take a goal after a minute if that's the way it goes down, but just not from Harry Kane. I'm just the way it is. It's just the way I am with him. But it was literally like there was no kind of. There was a bit of stunned silence, obviously, but then it was like, right, okay, 89 minutes left.
No one near me moans at all. The first shout was Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool.
Yeah, and it's
from
like
the cops straight away.
Yeah, and it's like we've 89 minutes, and we now just have to beat you 2-0 from here on in, and we'll do that.
Now it's just a conundrum. Where for the first minute you don't know what's going to happen. You're trying to find out what the opposition have got, and a minute later, right, okay, we know we've got to do it now, and we're just going to do it because we're better than you.
Yeah, like
and that's amazing to have that ability.
And do you know something? Like, I go on a lot about Liverpool's hard work and the determination and the way they apply themselves, but the mix yesterday of application, drive, wanting to win, dedication, along with a lot of skill and a lot of tactical. It was the tactical brilliance yesterday at times. The way they moved Spurs around, absolutely hammered them. If it didn't work, they moved them around again and hammered them again. It was just like the only thing that annoyed me about the first half, even without the goal, was just that whistle going off for 45 minutes for half time, because I felt just keep going because these are gone. They won't have it in them. But were you like that? Were you thinking at half time even 1-0? No, we're still okay here. We'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone worried near me. What I couldn't work out, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but Spurs either came out really early or we came out really late in the second half, because they were out a good 90 seconds, 2 minutes before we were. And I don't know if that's because Pochettino's gone, right, go out there and concentrate. Just hang on. Stay together, just concentrate and get out on the pitch now. Or Klopp's basically just going through, this is what we do about Danny Rose. This is what we do about Sergio Aurier. Because I think that's how we won the game. We basically we attacked their fullbacks, made sure we kept them high up the pitch. Sorry, high towards their end rather. And yeah, there was never a sense of the ground of we've lost this ever. There was never a sense of the ground that we'd drawn it either, even at 1-0 after very nearly an hour.
Yeah.
And then it got to 1-1, and then it was just sort of. I was thinking about the third goal.
Yeah,
I thought, how good can this take up?
When it went 1-1, I was thinking we'll do this 3-1. That's I genuinely thought that. And Grizz was talking to me on the show last night, and he made a great comparison between this game and the Champions League final. He said we scored early in the Champions League final. We're not on great form, but we're quite good throughout the game at managing it and managed to nick one at the end. He said Spurs never looked anywhere near that level. They looked when they scored, they looked a bit shocked themselves, and straight away it was like, that's probably at the 90s a little bit. We need to get back here and batten down the hatches, and that's what came about. Because as shocked as they look, Karl, Spurs looked a shadow of themselves yesterday, and I don't know how much that is. I'm gonna say a lot of it's down to how well Liverpool played, but some of it you have to put to. They just look like a team that are nearly going through the motions and are a bit bored on what they're trying to do.
They don't. It seemed to me yesterday that there's an accusation from Tottenham fans I was listening to last night where one said, all he ever does is play his mates. That's all he ever does. Sergio Aurier is no good.
Chris Brack says there, he maintains that Poch picks defenders who gives you a chance. It's baffling Vertonghen was on the bench.
That's
so he's picking his mates.
And he didn't play in what's his name? And Doble.
Dembele,
that's it. Yeah. So when he came on, I thought, oh yeah, I forgot about him. I was absolutely convinced Sissoko was going to get sent off just because I know what he's like. And when he got booked, and when he came on, I thought, I forgot he's quite good. And I thought, and he did move them round a bit. He gave them our lads a game in midfield, and they're weird, Tottenham, because it should have been 2-0 for a start. Cause they had that ball across the box, which Kane couldn't connect with. They had Son hitting the bar, and what a player he is, by the way. Son hitting the bar.
We spoke at length about him last night. Yeah,
Jesus, he's good, that lad.
Yeah,
and so there's flashes, and in some ways, I'm sort of glad there was flashes because I didn't want it to look like, oh yeah, it wasn't Liverpool being great, it was Tottenham being bad. Tottenham, they would have slept last night. They worked hard last night, and they still couldn't lay a glove on after the first minute. And I think we do need great praise from that. But the Tottenham are just, I don't know, they're a lot like Arsenal. I mean, a sort of, you look at them and think, how are you not winning 80% of your games? And yet you don't. It's really weird. And I suppose we were like that for a long time as well. Where you just look at the team sheet and you think, Gerrard, blah, blah, blah. We're going to win everyone.
Flattering to deceive a little bit, like?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Like, the times when Liverpool lose one game in 3, and you think, well, just look at the team, for God's sake. How's that happening? I think they're a bit, they've got England's captain, who, Liverpool are getting the little breaks. What you mean, like a deflection in 48 seconds? And they've got, and Lucas Moura can't make the team, and it's all there for them. I don't think the manager wants to be there.
Yeah, do you know what? I think he's trying to juggle an awful lot. I think he's trying to juggle players that want out. I think he's juggling players that are a little bit bored of what. I.e. Eriksen. I think he's trying to juggle players that are probably getting a bit bored on what they're doing. I.e. Dele Alli and others. And then like you said, you mentioned Lucas Moura there. I can't understand for the life of me how Spurs don't, if they want to play this 4-2-3-1, okay, how they don't just decide to put Moura on one side, Son on the other, put Eriksen in behind Kane, and just say to the other 6 lads, you just stay back there and look after it, and we'll go and play. Because they have everything there. They have the physicality, they have the pace, the guile, and they have a guy that puts the ball in the net.
You carry the piano. Just give it to them, lads. They'll do the rest.
I have to ask this question. Stephen Kingsbury asks, what about the Fabinho conundrum? One booking away from a suspension. Do you tell him he's not travelling to Aston Villa on next weekend?
I would send him off to the sales in town, if there is one, and walk around in a Homburg hat so no one will recognise you.
Yep.
And I think the best I'd do is maybe let him watch the game.
At home.
That's as close as he's going to get. I'll find a stream for him, a highly legal stream.
Yeah.
So he can watch the game.
We can reactivate his Sky subscription if needs be.
I'll put him on the bench, maybe.
Just to watch the game.
But not the bench in the ground, just a bench.
Oh right, okay. So just sitting on a bench, with an iPad and a decent stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I think under no circumstances do you allow Fabinho to get even close to missing this game against Manchester City. There was some confusion last night whether domestic games count in with yellow cards. So could he take one against, say, an Arsenal tomorrow, and or on Wednesday and miss, the game against Villa and then play against City? But it's competition specific this season, from what I can make out. So
it is, yeah. I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, there was a bit of confusion over there. Barry Carr does ask there if it gets booked against Arsenal, does it count? No, it's competition specific, so that's where the problem is. Karl, this may cause it won't cause a row between me and you, I don't think, but it may cause a bit of a problem on the chat and beyond that. But midfield, okay? So he reverts back to his Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho midfield. It's his go-to, especially in big games. If you look at it yesterday, it was probably the midfield to go with when you look at what Spurs went with and what you would expect from Spurs. But every single game, Karl, no matter who we're playing, who's fit, who's not fit, there always seems to be a problem with the midfield three picks. And Henderson and Wijnaldum do a job. They do a really good job, in my opinion. But for some reason, the calls for Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain to start, in my opinion, are based on very little. Do you agree or do you disagree?
For a start, the yesterday's midfield won the European Cup. Yeah. That's pretty strong. That's his A game. That's his A team. And you can see why. And you can point to a big shiny trophy and say, this is why I picked those lads, because they're astonishing. With Milner as a backup occasionally. He plays Keita and Chamberlain against Genk, who aren't as good as Tottenham, and they score two. I mean, obviously, the Chamberlain goals are fantastic. Of course they were. Keita does really well, and I do like Naby Keita, I really do. But they leave gaps behind them because that's not their game either. In the same way, it's not Tottenham's game to defend. That's not what they do. So Fabinho's basically got to do the entire midfield on his own, while those two are playing sort of a bit below a number 10, both of them. You know, that sort of game, pitching that high up the pitch. So it's horses for courses for me. There's going to be times when we think we just need to blast someone away, and Chamberlain loves a shot from outside the box, and Keita likes I think he likes a bit of time, because I think he was brilliant at Man United actually, because he slowed down the game and said, I just need to pick the pass. That's all I've got to do. I'll pick the pass. And yesterday he wouldn't have had time to pick the pass. And Liverpool's midfielders are all very, very good at doing different things. You've just got to select the opposition, and that's why Klopp's been brilliant at it. And I know Henderson gets tons of abuse. It's completely lost on me. It really is. Because sometimes you need a man with a big voice to jump around, shout at people, push Danny Rose in the stands, score a very nice goal as well. And you're not going to like this, lads. Jordan Henderson's fucking brilliant. He really is fucking brilliant.
I've loads of time from
Because if you played the game as well, that's the man you want behind you. Someone who's just going to roar, say, you go there, you go there, you go there. And mate Neil makes this point as well about him. He's also the policeman of the team. So when Liverpool score and they're all doing, Firmino's doing his strange celebrations and what have you, he's the lad who runs over and says, right, stop that now. Now we got to concentrate. And they all respect him. And he's first choice for me. He just is. I mean, I know he's not as silky as Keita, and he's not as sort of as attacking as Chamberlain. But do you know what? Those lads will get their time sometime else. That's fine. Jordan Henderson's Liverpool captain, and the last two Liverpool captains have won European Cups. And not that I'm comparing him to Gerrard. I just think Jordan Henderson, I'd be astonished if he didn't start yesterday. I'll be astonished if he doesn't start against City. And people can say, but he doesn't do this. Lads, we've dropped 2 points.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. We haven't lost a home game for 2.5 years.
You see,
he knows what he's doing.
The biggest thing for me in this all was, right, now, listen, I don't mind if people say, I'd love to see Keita playing, I'd love to see Oxlade-Chamberlain playing, I'd love to see Milner playing, whoever it is, Lallana, it could be anyone you want. I've no issue with that. That's an opinion. I've absolutely no problem with that. The issue I have is that the midfield is picked there yesterday, and straight away it's, we won't fucking win this game. He's this and he's that. And, like, I watched Jordan Henderson yesterday, and I can tell you, I have a lot of time for Jordan Henderson, simply because when I watch him and what he does in the team, I find I don't think Trent Alexander-Arnold and in particular Mo Salah have as an impact or as good a season as they're having if Jordan Henderson isn't there. That's my opinion on it, because I watch him and he's basically covering for Salah, and he's also saying to Trent, you go and do what you need to do. I'll be here. Don't worry about it. But it annoys me when it comes down to, he should play like this, that and the other. I think you're right, Karl. I think there will be times where we'll have to play against a team where we won't need Henderson's absolute drive and covering and stuff. We'll need someone a little bit more creative, someone that may be able to strike a decent ball outside the box, i.e. Chamberlain, somebody to get in around them and, nice little interplays and stuff like that, like a Keita. Then again, you might need someone that just, works very hard. Henderson's not available. Milner comes in. There's loads of stuff there that you can mix a midfield up. I just don't get it when people look at this midfield and go, I don't like Henderson. I haven't liked him in 7 years, and I'm just going to continue this regardless of what he does. I can tell you he was appalling at Old Trafford. I can tell you that because I watched the game and I thought he was. But
and his head went as well.
Yeah, his head absolutely went, and he probably played about 3 different positions that day, and he ended up as literally a right winger. He literally ended up as that. It's just one of those where I don't mind people giving me an opinion and basing that opinion on, well, I think, for argument's sake, Sheffield United or I don't know, if you play a West Brom in a cup or you play whatever team, I think this midfield might work better because of this. But to turn around and say, we won't win anything with this, you know what I mean? Like, we won't win anything with this player. You've pointed out we've dropped 2 points in 7 months. Yeah. And we've 2 European trophies sitting there. So it's a bit of a mad one. Somebody does say there, the reason this comes up all the time is because, they see our midfield as the weakest part of our squad.
But it's not. It's not the mid, because people think the mid under Rafa, everyone thought that the midfield had to create Alonso, Mascherano, all that, Gerrard. This side doesn't do that. The creativity comes from the flanks and the fact that the front three are amazing and they can all play 3 positions. So it's not that. But you basically need your midfield to do your work for you and give it to the creative players. That's what this Jurgen Klopp side does. And just to go back, we were saying then about Henderson makes Salah do this, he makes Trent do this on the right hand side. That's what I mean when I talk about if you played the game, you need someone like that. Do you know what, lads? You move up 5-10 yards. I've got this behind you. Trent, you just stay there and watch him. I've got this lad who's going to try and take you out all the time. He's mine now. That's what you need. Ian Rush used to talk about Graham Souness and saying it's like having your big brother on the pitch. And again, I'm not comparing Jordan Henderson to Graham Souness. No one compares to Graham Souness. But that's what I mean about, if you played the game, that's what he's for. That's the tough stuff you can't see. And that's the difference between them. And it's brilliant that he's one of our options.
Yeah, like Stephen Kingsbury says there, he believes that Fabinho, Henderson, Keita will end up being our first choice midfield. That may be the case. Stephen Kingsbury will have a reason for that. But
I can see why.
I can absolutely see why. Because I feel, I'll put it out there, I think if Keita found top form, I would have him down as probably our best midfielder all round if he found form. All right, I just believe that because I think he's getting used to things physically. He's starting to get used to the patterns of play at Liverpool. I think he has amazing quality. He's a great eye for a pass, and he's a decent eye for a goal as well. Running backwards, I find he struggles a little bit, but that's also that's something you can add to your game, and it really is. You've seen players over the years that great going forward and had to temper themselves a little bit, and it works for them. The kind of way. So it's just one of those that kind of caught me eye, and I don't mind opinion, but I just find when people come on and go, "Oh, there's the midfield. That's shit. He's shit." Without even watching the game, it's insane.
We had it before. I was in Paris the night of the Bayern Munich away game, and I checked my phone when the team came out, and I've got this thing on Twitter at the moment, which is people are taking the piss off it. Before a game, don't run before a game. Don't say, "Oh, that's it, it's all over, it's all gone." Look at the team. What are you doing? What are you doing? No fucking runners. No runners ever. You stand there for Liverpool. And I can't stand that. And I was seeing that at half time. Oh, yeah, he's going to keep Henderson on. And now we've lost this game. We've got 1 point out of 6.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about?
No, it's just a mad one for me. And I love a football debate. I could debate with you. I could debate with Grizz that's on the show. I could debate with Chris that comes on. I could debate with Chris Pajak when he comes on. Anyone come on, debate. I love it. Debate and opinion. That's what it's all about. I just don't get where people just go, he's not good and this is the reason why and stuff like that. Do you know something? I genuinely think, and I wouldn't like to see it happen, but I think if Henderson was injured for 5 or 6 weeks and you had to put Oxlade-Chamberlain or Keita in there, I think you'd see the difference. Not only them trying to play that position, but you'd probably see the effect it'd have on a couple of players around them.
You'd lose that little bit of intensity and Trent to be a little bit more stretched, I think.
Yeah, it could be. And Salah might be asked to come back and throw a defensive tackle in at some stage, which is just completely not his thing. But look, we have Arsenal on. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday night. I don't know why I have Tuesday in my head, and it's ridiculous to have Tuesday.
You made me panic then because I'm doing a podcast tomorrow night, so I thought, I'm going to miss the game.
Yeah, I'm probably panicking. Yeah, I am probably. I'm not doing one tomorrow night actually. I'm letting the lads do the club podcast tomorrow night, and I'm taking a night off. But Arsenal on Wednesday, the League Cup. What's your feelings on this? Do you think he might go a little bit stronger than he did at MK Dons, or are you in the boat that, or in the camp that no, whoever was at MK Dons, get as many of them on the pitch again. They deserve the time on the pitch.
I think it's going to be Pep Lijnders in goal. Mm-hmm. The man who sells the programmes just at the bottom, opposite the Cabbage Pub, as left back. Now, I think he goes the same way. I think he does the same team as MK. I was at the MK Dons game. And he might throw in, obviously, Keita started that game. I think he'll probably go the same team. I'd like to see Lallana get a run out. He deserves a bit of a thank you for the Old Trafford. Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I want to see more of Harvey Elliott. Yeah, I can't. We're not going to go big. And Arsenal are terrible. You never know. Arsenal are absolutely bloody awful.
Yeah, but Nord-Red makes a point here that if Arsenal fail on Wednesday, Emery could be gone. You know, he is walking a bit of a tightrope here. They seem to have turned on this guy extremely quickly and in large numbers. Could he do something where he goes a bit stronger, thinking Liverpool are going to go easy here? I go a bit stronger, gets me through to the next round, and buys me a bit of time.
That's what I'd do. I'd say I would go Lacazette and Aubameyang and Pepe. I'd go with that and think, do you know what? If we win at Anfield, I know it's not the same. It's not Liverpool, but that gets me a bit more time. So yeah. I think that's what he'd do, to be honest. And he's got a good record against us as well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, but it's like, I'm just looking at it. I'm thinking they made a lot of changes for their Europa League game. I think it was 10 changes from the Europa League game to the game they played against Palace yesterday. But will you revert back to that team? Can he trust that team that, edged out? I think. I know who won't average be playing. Portuguese team.
Yeah,
Granit Xhaka.
I don't think he's going to play.
No, I don't.
Although they think, or he might. He just went, you know what? Okay, I was going to rest you, but if you're going to be like that, in you go.
Yeah, that was a bit mad, wasn't
it? I've got two minds about this, to be honest, because part of me does think there's a hub. Obviously, football is based on hypocrisy, and there is a bit sort of, we'll boo you, we'll call you for absolutely everything, but if you do the same to us, it's really unfair, and you shouldn't be doing that. I don't like taking the shirt off, because that's, if I was an Arsenal fan, that's my shirt. You can call me for what you want, but don't do that to my shirt. He is terrible. He is absolutely, he's an awful player.
Yeah, but it's but when you start making him club captain, you have to start asking questions about your club, don't you? At times.
The thing is, though, who's your? I don't even know who their deputy captain is, because the midfield are all 12 years old, aren't they?
Yeah, but Granit Xhaka was made club captain.
Yeah.
So I can't understand how.
Just because I think he's been there long enough. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but Hector Bellerin is there years.
Bellerin, yeah.
He could have just made him club captain. Club captain is one thing, on pitch is the other. We've seen that down the years with, when Redknapp and Fowler and Hippie were all messing around.
Redknapp won the treble while playing 55 minutes or something.
Yeah, so there you go. North-Red thinks that Arsenal will go full strength. They have to. I think they will go strong here. I think they'll see it as an opening, because I think, they look at Liverpool and go, big game against Villa, Champions League the following week, where they can nearly sew up the group, and then they've City, so they've a big week ahead, which most weeks are big weeks for Liverpool at the moment. But I think they will go strong. Big, though. Yeah, I think they will go strong.
I think they will. Yeah.
Yeah. So a team.
It may not be enough for them, but
so a team of something like Adrian. You see, what do you do now? Let's talk about this. Matip is out, and it looks like 6 weeks, right? So you're down to Van Dijk, Lovren, and Joe Gomez. You have to put two centre halves on the pitch tomorrow night. What happens?
I think I'll go Gomez, Lovren.
Would you go with them two tomorrow? Oh, sorry, Wednesday.
You might put that 9'7" lad we've got as centre back.
Van der Berg.
Yeah, you might go in.
Yeah, I think we're in trouble if we play him. That's being honest.
Yeah, I think he might get turned a bit.
Yeah,
But I think he's got to win the headers.
So I seen
Or Heaver.
it was one of the lads on the Anfield rap, and they suggest it might be Neil Atkinson actually, and he suggested playing Fabinho centre half. Play him in this one.
Don't. What if he gets a kick though?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's all great having 4 central defenders, but when you actually lose one and you're down to 3,
it's actually not the worst idea. You might play Fabinho.
It could be one of those, couldn't it?
Because one day you might have to drop into do back four properly for a few weeks.
Yeah, or could he go something like, you know, bring a centre half in the 23s and just put him alongside of Gomez?
Yeah,
it all depends who he's going to pick against Villa. Whoever he picks against Villa, he might leave out. You know, i.e. Lovren or Gomez. He's going to have a look there. Harvey Elliott, you have to be looking forward to see. You hope to see Brewster, Origi, them probably our front 3.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I think that picks itself.
Milner probably goes right back
as captain. Yeah,
with Hoover not being available, and obviously Trent's not going to play. And I'd love to see Larouci get a start at left back. I really would.
Yeah, I'd like to see that because he was doing really well in pre-season before he got before he got kicked up in the air. Yeah, that'd be quite nice to see.
Yeah. Dixon87 has Adrian, Milner, Lovren, Van der Berg, Gomez, back 4, Keita, Chamberlain, Lallana, Origi, Brewster, Elliott. Yeah, not too bad. I don't know if that'd be the back 4 though. Milner, Lovren, Van der Berg, Gomez. I don't.
The front 6 is okay though. That front 6 has got something.
Keita, Chamberlain, Lallana, Origi, Brewster, Elliott. Yeah, it does. But sorry, excuse me. I think at the back 4, I'd love to see. I'd rather see him go Milner right back and put Larouci in left back. And if you can find a way around centre half, it could be a Fabinho Gomez with Lovren playing Villa at the weekend. It could be one of those.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait to see. Anything else? How's your Sherlock Holmes things coming on?
Well, speaking of Mr. Atkinson, he's my first guest tomorrow night.
Cool. So you're doing this kicks off tomorrow night.
This time tomorrow it'll be I've just said on Twitter before. I think I must have done well over 200 podcasts in my time, and this is the first time I'll be behind the dominant microphone, shall we say?
Yeah.
So I know Neil well, so it'll be good for that. What's funny though is because it's hosted by an American website called Rippercast, and I did a narration for them, and they slowed me down by 7%.
Okay.
When they did the production thing.
You sound drunk.
God knows. No, I sounded very sexy. Thank you very much.
But, I must listen.
But what's about they've got to do with Neil Atkinson? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. How quick are they going to? How much are they slowing him down?
Yeah, just. It's got to be half speed. It's got to be.
Yeah. Well, if you're 7%, I think Neil will be somewhere in. I'm going to put him around 28%.
I think Neil started speaking now to my good evening, Neil. I think he's working on that answer now straight away. So that's another 40 minutes done. No, it's gonna be really good. I'm looking forward to it. It's a subject to which I know a fair bit, so I'm not worried about any gaps in knowledge or anything like that. But it's just it's a big project. But I've been quite clever and put not any time. It's not gonna be weekly or anything like that. It's gonna be literally when I get the guest and I'm happy with the guest, and then we can do it from there. So I've got 56 podcasts to do. So
Jesus,
one for each short story. And if number 56 is in 10 years' time, I don't mind. Yeah,
you've put no time limit on it. Best way to be.
Yeah.
Larouci is injured apparently, says Jono.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that just puts us in our box, doesn't it? Maverick says, is Fabinho 1 yellow from a ban? Yes, in the league it is. How did he say it? Competition specific. Yeah. Stephen Kingsbury says Arsenal can't defend, so whatever team we field have a real chance. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
Who plays central defensive midfield or defensive midfield? I think. Do you know what? I think he might put Lallana in there.
I think it's Lallana. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
He's done it before.
Of course, Kevin O'Sullivan says Lewis can come in at left back if Larouci has a problem. Is Shaqiri fit to play? Last update I heard, he's still recovering from, I think it's a calf injury, is it? That's still upsetting him. But just the last thing on the centre half, and we'll finish it up now in a minute, but, Matip is out for 6 weeks, and at the start of this podcast, a lot of people coming in on the chat and mentioning what they do, Gomez, Lovren, are they confident, are they not confident, what we may have to do. What road do you go down with this, Karl?
Lovren. You play Lovren.
You go Lovren?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's got a bad reputation. I don't know why he's got a bad reputation, but I've seen Dejan Lovren have plenty of good games. The problem is that when people see Dejan Lovren, they think of reputation, and I can understand why that is, but I've done it myself, John Arnorisa. But you think straight away, oh, he's in and he's going to be bad, and he's slightly surprised when they're not quite as bad as they make out. It's very difficult to do that when Liverpool have dropped 3 points in 7 months and won a European Cup. So I don't quite get the anti-Lovren stuff. There's people blaming him for the goal yesterday. And if you watched the match today last night, they had 3 different angles, and the final angle was my one because I'm right in the middle of the goal at the back of the Kop, so I saw the same thing. And people said, "Oh, he should have closed him down, or he turned his back." I think he's either ducking out the way of it. This is all in about 3 nanoseconds. He's either thinking, "I get out of the way of that because I think it's going over," or I stand up and he sort of does neither, and it hits. It's just incredibly lucky. Incredibly unlucky, sorry, unlucky.
Yeah, the thing for me, the goal, I think he does kind of turn away from it. I think if he just stands there, it hits him in the head. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The one that annoyed me more was the Son chance. It's travelling 75 yards and he
got done. He got absolutely done, yeah. He wasn't expecting the ball from the keeper.
Well, when a keeper kicks and it travels 75 yards, the first rule is you don't let it bounce under any circumstances.
No.
Now, there's argument that Trent could have been in a bit tighter, but it's straight down the middle of the pitch. It's more or less the middle of the pitch. I think Lovren can easily just take a step to his right or whatever and deal with it, and he doesn't. And I always say about Lovren, the stages of Lovren, he'll start off fine. We'll be winning and he gets overconfident and he makes a mistake and then he goes to shit near the end and he panics. And if you can keep him in the first stage and if you see him edging into that second stage when we're winning games, just give him a slap on the back of the head, reset him, and I think he's fine. But I don't know, Karl. I think this might be a chance to get a little bit of renaissance for Gomez and a bit of carrot and stick here. Matip is out; he is the first choice, but here's your chance. And I don't know. I think Gomez is in with a real chance here.
I like Gomez. I've got some doubts about what he's like when the ball comes above him. Sorry, I'm coughing. He gets caught under the ball a lot sometimes, and that's happened more than once. That would be a bit of a worry for him. I think positioning is very good. The fact that he's Virgil's best mate is a good thing as well. I don't know. I'm just not sure with Gomez sometimes. And I know that's heresy, but I think he's a perfectly good player. And if he played every game for the next 15 games, I wouldn't mind at all. But he's not quite as meat and potatoes, if you know what I mean. I think Lovren's a meat and potatoes defender.
Yeah. Kev O'Sullivan makes a fair point. He said Lovren had the header on target to give the ball to the keeper to kick out. Only seen that on Match of the Day last night. Lovren's name is mud and there's nothing you can do. Yeah, he can have the header, but I still think, and look, I'm not doing it because it's Lovren. I'm doing it if that goes over the top and Matip is there or Gomez or Van Dijk is there and he's done like that, I'd still have the same opinion. I just think no centre-half should let it bounce. Connor passed...
It's the golden rule, is it? That never go across your box.
Yeah, and never let it bounce and stuff like that, and play to the whistle and all that sort of stuff. But Connor Pastor asks, shut up, or he doesn't ask, he tells me to shut up and tell me about Rocky. So Karl, you probably don't know what's going on here. I had never, up until last Monday, seen any of the Rocky movies.
That's right, we said this, yeah.
Yeah, so I start watching them. And it was just because a mate of ours has said, I can't really trust you as a human if you haven't seen any of the Rocky films. So I said, okay, let me restore some faith. And I went and watched. So I gave Rocky 1 a 6 out of 10. I gave Rocky 2 4 out of 10. It was appalling. And I gave Rocky 3 8 out of 10. But I am still waiting to watch Rocky 4, which I believe has the best soundtrack of all time. And
really?
Proper American cheese is what I've been told. So
it's incredibly anti-Russian. Yeah, incredibly so.
Okay, well,
you don't like the first Rocky film?
I liked it. I thought it was a bit slow. I gave it 6 out of 10. Maybe 6.5. But the second one I thought was appalling.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's dreadful.
Yeah, the third one was good.
Because Clubber Lang is a genuinely horrible character.
Yeah.
I think that makes it. Yeah,
and I thought the third one was good. The fourth one, I don't know who's in it. Apart from the Rocky
Bridget
fella.
Nielsen.
Yeah, so I will go and watch that. So Connor, thanks for asking, and updates will follow as soon as I watch Rocky 4. I will tell you, I've been told not to go near Rocky 5 because it will ruin
No, there's
every
only
other
4
Rocky
films.
for you. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I will try. I have, like, I literally found this box set with 5 films, you know, a DVD box set that somebody obviously bought me for Christmas or something like that. Found it, and I'm literally going to throw the 5th disc in the bin so I don't ever tempt myself to watch it.
Don't go near that. No one needs to see that.
No worries. We're going to finish it up. Karl, I won't speak to you before the game on Wednesday, but I want a prediction from you.
0-0 penalties, God knows.
0-0 penalties, God knows. Okay. Lovren with the winning penalty.
He took a penalty in Istanbul a few years ago, didn't he? And I think that ball is still in the air.
Yeah. It collided with Charlie Adams.
Charlie Adams, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was at that Charlie Adams one as well. That's the height that thing got was quite impressive.
Yeah, it really was. He could be useful in the Rugby World Cup, couldn't he?
Yes, indeed,
later on the week. Well, look, that's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Karl, I know you're a little bit under the weather, but thanks a million for joining me.
No problem.
Absolutely, and we'll talk to you soon. Best of luck with yourself and Neil on this podcast that you start tomorrow on Sherlock Holmes. If anyone looks up,
it could be 7 hours.
It could be, and then if you slow them down by 30%, you have to add that time
exactly,
on.
Yeah.
So it could literally be a day's. It could be the new 24.
Yeah.
Good.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. That's it. That's the Fatback 4 Daily. Thanks for joining us. The club will be recorded tomorrow night. I won't be back till Wednesday after the game. I don't know who's on with me, but I will confirm in the meantime. Have a good one. Over now.